Welcome to the 2023 Lancaster Archery Classic, coming at you from the Spooky Nook Sports Complex here in Manheim, Pennsylvania. It's the largest indoor archery tournament on the East Coast, and we are ready for our women's recurve shoot-up finals. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Greg White, sitting alongside Connor Kaufhold. And Connor, it has been a spectacular weekend so far here at the Lancaster Archery Classic.
Yeah, it's been great, and it's been great to be involved in the, being up on the stage, introducing people and commentating here as well. It's been great, and the competition and the shooting's been great as well.
Now, you're still a Texas A&M student, is that right?
Yep, I'm a junior there, and I'm on my third division. Shooting-wise, I shot recurve freshman year, bow hunter last year, and this year I picked up bare bow, and I didn't quite make the cut at this tournament here, but it was a good stepping stone going into like collegiate nationals and stuff in the next month. So.
And of course, your sister's Casey Kaufhold, who qualified #1, and you know a ton about recurve archery, so we're really looking forward to tapping into your knowledge as we move on for the next two categories. But we have more coming at you. We've already had our Masters Open Pro and Bow Hunter just wrapped up. Now we're into the Women's Olympic Recurve, then off to Olympic Recurve. We have the youth category, which is compound, and then we're going to get into that Men's Open, which is the amateur class, then Women's Open Pro, and then the massive Open Pro category. So we got tons of stuff. Now, let's talk about this match. We have 4 people that have qualified out of the 40. And those top 4 are going to be shooting up. That means that the number 4 seed is going to shoot off against number 3. Whoever wins is going to shoot against the number 2 seed. And then finally, they're going to get a chance at Casey Kaufhold for that #1 spot. But what's different from our qualification rounds is we have a 12 ring in play. It's a 1.5 centimeter white dot that's hanging down there. You'll be able to see it. You have to call it if you want to shoot at it for it to matter, and you only get 1 call per end. So if you add up all the points, there is a max point value of 136 if you hit every middle and every 12 ring. But right now, let's get to the third member of our broadcast team, PJ Riley, who's going to bring our archers out to compete in our women's recurve.
All right, let's get started with women's Olympic recurve. It's going to get loud in here now, I am sure, for our 4th seed from Lidditz, Pennsylvania, a Lancaster Joad team member, Alyssa Artz. And our number 3 seed, from Chula Vista, California, Savannah Vanderwier.
All right, so Connor, here we are. We're getting ready to get this shoot up underway. Now you can see that the archers are stepping up onto a stage. We're shooting at a distance. How far is the distance and what size is the target?
This is 18 meters, shooting at a 40 centimeter target. Obviously, Alyssa down there with the single spot target, and Savannah with the 3-spot target just gives Alyssa a little more room for error as far as if there's a bad shot that flies wide. She can catch, anything 5 and out, as Savannah is limited to just the 6 and in, but won't have arrows hitting each other as can sometimes be a problem on the single spot.
Do you think in this finals venue, I mean, you need to shoot what you shot in qualification, 100%, right? Because that's what you've been practicing
Yeah, you're
on.
comfortable with that.
Yeah, but of course we know that Savannah Vanderwier, an incredible shooter, so she knows what she's doing, even though she's taken out that 5 all the way down to the 1 ring. All right, so Vanderweer is going to get us rolling. She's originally from Texas, now living in Chula Vista at the center. Let's talk about the difference between the way recurve, like where arrows land versus compound. We know compound, people like the expectation is just wear out the middle, but in recurve, can it be a little different?
Yeah, it certainly can. Most of the archers up here on the stage are going to be, pretty much yellowing in with a few flyers here and there, and that's why, you might see a single spot for some if, flyers end up a little farther out, and 3 spots for others. I'm sure, the other shooters we see up on the stage will be on the 3 spot as far as I saw on the practice range.
Now, if you're new to archery, that little yellow tab right in front of her arrow, what is that?
Right in front. Oh, that's the clicker. It's just pretty much a indication of when to release the arrow. It'll be at the same point at each shot, at same point in the draw in each shot. Just indicates that you're at the same point every time. Really helps your highs and lows. And bare bow, this year that's been a struggle with me, having to be consistent location each time.
Yeah.
But it helps a lot to make each shot more consistent.
And the other thing with recurve archery too, that can be difficult, is the fact that you release at max weight compared to a compound bow. When those cams roll over, you just have a holding weight, so you can pull through 60 pounds and hold 20 or hold 14 pounds. But recurve, it's all strength. Let's get to PJ.
I'm all right.
Welcome back to the Lancaster.
Yeah.
You've been up here so many times now.
Yeah.
You were the youth female recurve champion. What year was that?
Last year.
That was last year. All right, so you are up there somewhere on one of these banners. There you are on the right side of the screen there. So this year you're shooting in the women's division. How's that feel? Bigger competition?
Yeah.
You're ready for it?
Yeah, a little more challenging, but.
All right, tell us about your bow setup here.
Oh, I don't know. Let's see,
Yep.
it got MKS
Yep.
riser, some Trad Tech limbs, a Sherlock sight, Shrewd stabilizers, biter, plunger, and clicker.
Shooting
ACEs. Yep.
Trad Tech limbs, like to see that on the
Yeah.
Lancaster Archery brand. How they working for you?
Good, they work great. Yeah.
All right, great. Looks like after our first end, we are tied 26-26.
Connor, let's talk about the jump, from youth champion to now coming into this women's Olympic recurve category. Does it translate? I mean, obviously she's, Alyssa's shooting great. There were a total of 924 points available. She shot 828 points of that. But is there an emotional jump?
Yeah, there's definitely a jump in the level of competition you see, but the experience of being up there last year and shooting all those matches and ending up winning has to be valuable compared to, not seeing this stage before, just being up there fresh, and, the nerves can be really intense.
A great 11 to start off for Savannah Vanderwier.
9.
If you're just tuning in and you're watching, the difference between the target face they're shooting, if you look at the actual size of the rings, they're identical. It's just kind of the way we do it. And Connor had mentioned before that Savannah Vanderwier, she's shooting a target where her highest point value is available is 6. However, if you look at what Alyssa Artz is shooting, her highest point value available is 1. And it's a matter of, you think you're going to be smacking your arrows around because they're going into one spot, or if you have the confidence that you're not even going to shoot outside of that first blue ring. 18 meters, which is just about 20 yards. It's like, what, 2 inches or something?
Yeah,
I mean, like
it's
an inch or something.
slightly shorter, I think.
Literally, you could adjust your feet position to make up the distance. What does she have there on the string?
That would be a nose button, just another sort of check to make sure you're in the same location every time when you draw up an anchor. Some people prefer to just touch the string to their nose. Some people have a kisser button in the corner of their mouth, and like Alyssa has there, the nose button, just another check to make sure that everything's going smoothly and in the same spot every time.
Let's get to PJ.
She was our Women's Open champion. Now you're shooting recurve right-handed.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a bit of a crazy switch. I don't recommend it to everybody, but so far it's worked out.
Obviously, the goal of that is you're trying to get to the Olympics.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
And we mentioned Chula Vista. You're at the training center, originally from Texas. How's the training going? What are your thoughts for 24?
It's looking pretty good. I'm excited. I'm pushing hard for it.
All right, run through your equipment for us, Savannah.
All right, we've got the XD, the new Axia limbs, and I have Bowfinger XCH bars, and an Excel Achieve XP sight, Eastern Arrows.
X10s.
Yeah, X10s.
All right, looking good up there, Savannah. It's looking like right now you're holding a 1-point lead. 55-54.
So we didn't catch the beginning of that, but Savannah Vanderwier has had bronze, gold medals at World Cups with a compound bow. She's finished World Field Championship medals with a compound bow and a recurve, so she's switched. Because it is an Olympic year, Connor? Like, there's qualifications this year, correct?
Yeah. This year the trials will begin. I'm not sure exactly which tournament. That's a great shot there. Not sure exactly which tournament, but this year, yeah, she'll be competing in the trials. I believe she picked up recurve at the beginning of last season, last outdoor season, and she's been shooting it really well since.
There's been a few athletes that I can think of off the top of my head that have tried to make the transition that haven't quite gotten there. Rio Wild did it years and years ago. Crystal Gavin tried it at the end of 2016 after watching the Olympics. But of course, the Olympic competition 2024 will be archery, and there is discussion about 2028 in Los Angeles that compound might be in the Olympics as well. So the Olympic conversation is going to open up wide here over the next few months and in the next year.
8. There's
some really good looking shots.
Yeah, very strong shooting from Savannah.
Okay, so there's a 30-second countdown. She's got 9 seconds left. She was pretty deep into that clock. 5, 4, and she lets out 1.
Strong shot, though.
So that's the thing I like about the Lancaster Archery Classic. It gives you 30 seconds instead of like a World Archery 20, which we have seen for. It's kind of. Is it a natural thing for a recurve archer to if the shot doesn't feel right, just to let it down like that?
Yeah, for sure. You could run through your clicker early, or it could drag on later, and it just doesn't feel right. And it's usually, much better to reset, take a second, get back up there and shoot a strong shot. And yeah, the 30 seconds gives you a lot more room for play than the 20 seconds at World Cup.
Yeah, because if you looked at it, actually, she didn't even, like when she let down, it was only a couple seconds left. It had been 20, so, but able to get that shot off.
Savannah has an 86-81 lead.
Also here at the Lancaster Archery Classic, different to actually what you do in, say, World Archery or USA Archery, where you have different type of scoring with recurve specifically, right?
Yeah, the 11 is definitely very valuable. You're never really shooting for the 11, in recurve. You're always just like, yeah, that's a 10. That's what I'm looking for. But having the 11 here, makes it a little. You have to be a little more precise. Aim a little smaller.
And we're doing cumulative here.
Yeah, very different. 4-end cumulative score compared to a set system, which could go anywhere from 3 to 5 ends. Strong shot from Alyssa there.
Really strong, yeah. This is the 2023 Lancaster Archery Classic. We're in Vanderwier, Pennsylvania, and we are at the beginning of our shoot-up final for Women's Olympic Recurve. Alyssa Artz, who you're looking at right now, who's a youth champion at this tournament, shooting against Savannah Vanderwier, the former compound archer who switched to recurve with Olympic dreams. And we're shooting to guarantee, the winner of this match guarantees himself a podium finish, but they've got to go shoot against the second place qualifier in Gaby Schloesser.
That will secure the match for Savannah, but Alyssa calls the 12 to see if she can have that little bonus to the match here.
If she hits this, this crowd is going to go bonkers.
Might be a 10.
10, yeah. See, but that's it. If you just dropped it, your bow arm a little bit, and it caught it, at least you could get the point value. I like hitting the button. Unofficially, we have 115 to 111. Looks like Savannah will advance.
They both have Olympic dreams.
Let's hear what PJ has to say.
You're going to be our 4th place finisher, taking home $500. Congratulations on a great finish. This is your first year in women's recurve. Great finish, Alyssa. And that is confirmed. Our final score, 115 to 111. Let's give it up for Alyssa. All right, let's bring out our number 2 seed, who also is no stranger to this stage, from the Netherlands, 2-time Olympian Gaby Schloesser.
So Gaby Schloesser comes on out, who has been on fire as of late. She's really shot well. Of course, Gaby Schloesser, originally from Mexico, married to a prominent compound archer.
Yes, yeah, Mr. Perfect, Mike Schloesser.
Yeah.
Who is in the coaching box today for Gaby.
And of course, we'll see him later on in the day in the Open Pro category, I believe. Did Mike make the cut?
Oh, I believe we are missing out on Mike.
Yeah, no, Mike didn't make the cut. Yeah, he didn't make the cut, so he stays, and at least he can coach his wife to potentially a championship. So in this shoot-up finals, it was Gaby Schloesser, who was the number 2 seed. She had the choice whether to shoot first or second. She chooses to shoot first. For these 2 archers, they're guaranteed a podium, but the winner advances to shoot against our number 1 seed. Now you can see that there is no peep sight like you would see on a compound boat, but there is an aiming element out front. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a much smaller housing and than you would see in compound. No magnification. Magnification's not allowed. Yeah, just really just lining up that string with the riser of the bow, and just that's your checkpoint. Really, is just having it in the same spot on the riser rather than lining it up with the housing.
Is there circle only, or is there some type of like dot or element in there that you can use?
Most people have a fiber or a dot in there, but some years ago when I shot recurve, I had no dot in there. I just had an open ring. Casey did the same, but now Casey has moved to a fiber as well.
Oh, interesting.
10.
All right, one person clapped for that 10. You're smiling. What are you seeing?
Yeah, everyone seems a little sleepy this morning. Not very much excitement in the crowd, but it'll ramp up as the day goes on.
It certainly will. Here's Gaby.
How many times?
Twice before this.
Twice before.
I
like
twice
that.
before today. No, I'm kidding.
Positive thinking. Last year you won it, correct? Yeah, that's you on the left side of the screen up there.
Yep.
Great. Run through your equipment for us, Gaby.
I'm shooting the Formula XD with axial limbs. I shoot concave stabilizers. I shoot the 650s? 625. 625, yeah. The axial HP with a shrewd aperture. KSL grip, Eastern arrows, beta nocks, and spring wings.
All right, and tell us about your coach back there. We recognize him.
Yeah. Yeah, my husband, he tries to be my coach. Sometimes I allow him, sometimes not really. You know, when I like it, I'll take what he says, but otherwise,
All right, great. Mike Schloesser, of course. He is a multi-champion here in the Open Pro division. After our first end, Gaby holds a 2-point lead, 28-26.
Connor, you've had to be in that situation. Only difference is parents maybe in the box, you know, like got to listen to your parents coach you sometimes.
Yeah, it's always, you know, I feel like growing up, you're always like, I'm shooting, you're just back there, you don't know what you're talking about. But they always know everything.
Oh, yeah.
You just, you know.
Well, for Gaby
just
too,
wanna
she's
do it
like, you're
yourself.
compound, I'm Recurve.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
know?
it's
You know?
different.
Yeah. They're a really funny couple, fun couple to hang out with too. What's really funny about those two is obviously Gaby is from Mexico, so she speaks Spanish and she speaks English, and Mike is from the Netherlands, and so the question was, okay, so what language are you guys going to speak? And they both tried to speak each other's language. Gaby's taking classes and so on. And I asked them how it's going because I figured they'd crush it during the pandemic. And they were like, we're just speaking English. Okay. Solves the problem.
9.
Try and get that thing through the clicker.
9.
Yeah, well, that shot dragged on for a little bit.
The shaking that we see, that unusual in recurve or very typical?
It's not unusual to see. You're up there holding just about 40 pounds. It varies some. Some people shooting more or less, but on average for the women's division, about 40 pounds, I'd say. And yeah, it can be a lot up there for holding it for 4 or 5 seconds.
The other thing we're looking at is we look at that shot from Gaby in the middle is the micro diameter arrows they're using. We've seen such a variety. Even in barebow we saw up to 27. So why would you think that these athletes are using these smaller arrows right now?
The smaller arrows, I found tended to be more forgiving. If you have a shot that's a little more marginal, it tends to not fly as far. But obviously the big arrows for grabbing the lines can be very valuable as well. But it's just what you try, what you feel gives you more points. Whether you're grabbing more from having less flyers or you're grabbing more from catching more lines. And I'm sure both of the archers here have tried both and come out saying that the smaller arrows are better for them.
Do you think maybe also because it's an Olympic qualifier year that some people have that mindset where they don't want to be maybe going back and forth?
Yeah.
Is it that big of a deal in recurve to go from a micro arrow to a big arrow?
Yeah, it's a big setup change. You're moving your knock points, your plunger, your rest, like everything.
Oh, okay.
Everything's going to be moving as far as where the arrow contacts the bow. So it can be a pretty big change as well as.
And I would imagine it feels a lot different too.
Yeah.
10.
Great shot from Gaby.
Nine.
Three-point advantage for Schloesser.
Great shot there.
Keep in mind, Gaby Schloesser won silver medal at the Tokyo Olympics, as well as being a 2-time champion here, and a long resume beyond that.
Yes, she's very accomplished in the sport.
It's also great. Good bit more experience for Savannah Vanderwier to be able to shoot against Gaby as well.
Yeah, especially going into the Olympic year, if she's hopeful and in making that team, Gaby will most likely be one of the competitors there at the games.
9.
Connor, we're looking at Savannah's target right now, and it just seems like everything's drifting right. Is it a situation where if you were in the coach's box, what advice would you give to Savannah right now?
She knows how her shot feels, and if she's feeling like those shots weren't quite great, I'd maybe not move the sight. But if those are feeling like strong shots, I'd definitely give the sight a few clicks. And it's at this point in the match, 3-point gap. You kind of want to see what the other person does score-wise, but that 12 is always an option if you're feeling confident in it. I was watching a lot of the matches yesterday, and especially the compound matches. I was with 2 ends left. Sometimes I was like, it might be time for the 12 with 2 ends left, because you're in compound. If you're 3 points back, you're not gonna you're not going to hope for them to make a mistake. You got to go and do it yourself. You know, get out and get those points. So
We've seen a lot of 12 so far over yesterday and today. Let's hear a little bit from Gaby.
Enjoying it, you know, like I go from tournament to tournament, and the Olympics are nice, but other competitions are also cool.
Gotcha. All right. Well, you are shooting strong here today. With one end to go, Gaby has a 85-82 lead. Savannah, you can hit that 12 button anytime. Yeah, you can do it. Shoot in a second.
Three-point advantage for Gaby on this final end of the shoot-up. The winner moves on to face our number 1 seed.
9.
That's a close one.
yeah, it's very close. Might be called up to a 10. Strong response from Savannah.
Mhm.
Those bigger, if you had a little bigger arrows, might be grabbing a few points there.
Yeah.
I think she might have caught the first arrow, but that one seems like it's just out.
9.
No disappointment from Savannah on that shot. Just high.
Yeah, barely. Strong end of the match for Savannah, putting a 10 in there, finish it off. But it looks like unofficially it'll still go Gaby's way.
There's a couple close arrow calls down there we're going to wait for.
Yeah, that one's clearly a 10, so it's that top one. Judge has already been there, obviously, when they call clear. So we'll get the
Yeah,
word
we'll
now.
get-
All right, that is verified. Gaby Schloesser, 114.
Let's hear what PGA has to say.
Vanderwier, 111. Savannah, you're going to finish in 3rd place. Payout of $1,000 from us, $500 from Hoyt. Savannah Vanderwier. Good job. All right, I'm going to need the screen for this next one. If someone can help me with pronunciation here. Our number 1 seed from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, 2020 Classic champ, Casey Kaufhold.
Connor, do you need Casey's bio card to read any information off of this thing?
Yeah, it might be very helpful for me. Not very familiar.
You're our brother. I mean, why would you pay attention to her accomplishments, you know? Well, here we go. Heavy hitters. We're talking world-class athletes competing here at the Lancaster Archery Classic. Casey Kaufhold was our number 1 seed out of a possible 924 points shot. She shot the most points, 861. That's 21 more than Gaby Schloesser was able to shoot. And the number 11's Casey shot 38 to Gaby's 27. So Casey has been on a tear. And the first arrow gets shot, and I saw that Casey just grabbed a click or two, which, as you mentioned, indicates that she knew the shot was good.
Yeah, just ended a little high, ended a 10. And a 10 from Gaby as well.
11.
Those 2 clicks made a difference. Brought it down into the 11.
9.
Still gold. The problem is you can't give Casey 2 points and end, you know.
11.
Oh my. Let's hear from PJ and Casey.
Nice to meet you. Well, heard a lot of that.
Casey, all right, 2020 Lancaster Archery Classic champ. You've been up here many times. For folks out there who have never been here, does it get easier as many times as you've been here?
I wouldn't say it gets easier, but I think you learn something every time you're up here, something different. So over the years that I've been up here, I've been able to learn from each experience and apply to fix something the next time.
Gotcha. Now talk about that hat you got there. This is your first year.
Yes, this is my first year at Texas A&M University, so been doing a lot of classwork as well as shooting. So been having a very busy schedule recently, but so far I've been able to manage.
All right, run through your equipment for us.
So I am shooting the new Hoyt XD riser and Axio limbs, a Excel sight, biter plunger, conquest bars, a D-cut aperture, the X10 arrows, and a DXT tab.
DXT tab, Dictone tab, just unveiled here at the Lancaster Archery Classic.
Yes, it's shooting very well so far.
All right, Casey, after the first N, holding a 32-29 lead.
And Connor, there's something to be said. I know that she says that, you know, she learned something, but the pressure's still the same. But we know that when she won this for the first time, what a relief it was, right? Because obviously it's a family business, being a home shoot and all that kind of stuff. Did you feel that kind of pressure competing, even here this weekend?
Yeah, I was really, you know, I was wanting to make the cut, and I was really pushing to make the cut, and you know, I dreamed of making making it on the stage for the bare bow shoot. Great response as well from Gaby.
Yeah.
But yeah, the classic is always, you know, I don't think it's a case of home field advantage, because you know you have still just as much pressure, and you know it feels like everyone, you know, because you're in the family there, everyone's watching and like hoping you do well, and that can bring a lot of pressure, or it could bring a lot of almost 311s. That one might be just out. That was great shooting, but it could just as well be, you know, very encouraging. And it's just how you take that pressure and turn it into performance.
This is unreal.
Yeah.
I mean,
averaging above 30 so far. I mean, 30 average for Gaby, above that for Casey, just getting that 11.
let's hear what Gaby has to say.
And I mean, we always shoot against each other here, so
Yes.
I don't know if it gets easy for her, because I'm still really nervous about that.
Well, it certainly doesn't seem to be affecting your shooting grade that last end. Well, seems like you're finding your rhythm.
Thank you.
All right, after 2 ends, we're at the half. Casey, 64, Gaby, 60. Oh, sorry, 65. Check that.
So that one did catch.
Yep. That one right there, that second shot, 2 inside outs. I mean, on the spider. Wow. You're just sitting here shaking your head because you know, I mean, you shot this for years.
Oh, yeah.
You know how difficult it is.
Yeah, it's always been a struggle shooting against Casey. You know, practicing all the matches we've shot against each other. It was always a struggle to, you know, even take a set away from her, let alone a match. So another great shot there, very close to the 11. Not sure exactly how that'll go.
I mean, what do you think's going through Gaby's mind right now? Because she's shooting great. And any
Yeah,
other.
there's just no room to gain anything. There's a 33 up there last end. You know, you can't. You almost got to go for the 12, and that's a you know, tough task.
9.
Opportunity here, gain a few points back.
Unfortunately for Gaby, she couldn't completely capitalize on that. Great shooting. I wonder if Gaby's first arrow is a bit of a fall. Looks like it's pretty solidly on that, in that line.
You'll get a better look.
That's out.
I'd call that out, yeah.
Yeah.
Casey, you and I were talking yesterday.
Let's go to PJ.
Sometimes prefer to come out not as the #1 seed, but it seems like you're pretty warm today.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to come out as number 2 or 3 because then you have a warm-up match before the gold medal. But so far today, seems like it's going okay with that one. So.
It sure does. How's the lighting difference between practice coming out to here?
I noticed I was a little high on the first shot, and it felt really good, so I gave it a couple clicks, and so far it's been pretty central, so I don't have any issues, I don't think.
What's it like for you having Heather in your coach's box back here? She works with you all the time.
Yeah, it's nice to have Heather here. Since I've been at college, I haven't gotten to see her as much or work with her as much in person, doing a lot of Zoom lessons, but it's nice to have her here and have her behind me again.
All right, great. Heather File is the director of our Lancaster Archery Academy. Heading into our last end, Casey Kaufhold, 95, Gaby Schloesser, 91. Gaby, you got
32, 33, and 30.
Yeah.
Now, listen,
That is
you've been
great.
Connor, you've been watching Casey shoot her entire life. Do you see her form now dramatically different than what she was shooting even like 2 years ago? Or is she pretty consistent over the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's been, the larger part of the form has been the same. There's been small tweaks here and there, just, but, it's not a lot that you see on the outside. It could be just something as small as different hand position, different pressure in the fingers on the tab, anything like that. You don't really see it in the larger part of the form, but it's changes that matter.
11.
Wow. Okay, you got the clock over there.
Yep, there's 15 on it.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time to get a shot in here. Solid shot. And she does.
Gaby hit the 12 button. So Gaby's on the 12. You got to go for it anyway.
Yeah.
We haven't had one hit today across all classes.
Be cool to see one in recurve.
Just under
Just
Not far, not far.
good effort, good shooting. I mean,
Yeah.
both archers, incredible scores, but Casey Kaufhold so strong today. The women's Olympic recurve champ. Let's get to PJ.
Gaby Schloesser is going to finish in second. $2,000 from us, $1,000 from Hoyt. Give it up for Gaby Schloesser. And our champion, 2023, with a payout from us of $4,000, $2,000 from Hoyt, Casey Kaufhold. I feel like Dean stole my thunder. He mentioned you before I did. Hey, how's it feel?
It feels really good. I've struggled a little bit, I think, over the past year with on-stage matches, and so out here I felt very comfortable, and I think I did a good job keeping myself composed, and I obviously was nervous. I was shaking like a leaf, but I think I powered through and shot some really good shots, so I'm really happy with how it went.
If that was struggling, I need to struggle a little more like that.
Yeah, so I'm just very happy.
This is your second Classic Championships in the adult division. How does that feel?
Feels really good. Yeah, so far with my track record in the Classic, I've had a lot of second places, but
Yes.
It feels good to put another first on there.
All right, 2023 Lancaster Archery Women's Recurve Champion, Casey Kaufhold.
Thank you.
Unbelievable shooting from Casey Kaufhold to win another one here at the Lancaster Archery Classic from Spooky Nick Sports Complex here in Manheim, Pennsylvania. It is the largest indoor archery tournament on the East Coast and is proven to be a spectacular one. Well, that'll do it for women's Olympic recurve. We have more shoot-ups coming up after this, including Olympic recurve. There's a guy named Brady Ellison who is our #1 seeded qualifier. Find out how that goes in a moment.